Peter Drucker has a very famous phrase. It is that maybe if you heard it around. Culture, it's a strategy for breakfast every single day. Now, I have a very famous phrase too. It is that if I had a religion, it would be the collective intelligence. The only dogma it would have, it would be the participatory process. Now, do you know that saying where people say that if the mountain doesn't go to Muhammad, Muhammad goes to the mountain? Well, I have seen it with my bare eyes that through collective intelligence, people can actually lift up a mountain and take it to Muhammad or to whoever they want to take it to. Now, welcome to Collective Intelligence as a Competitive Advantage. I am Tai Barroso, born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But for the past 15 years, I have been facilitating and designing experiences and processes in South America, West Africa, and Europe. Now, on the next few minutes, I'll explain to you how I, with these bare eyes, also have seen how high performing organizational culture is actually built through facilitation, even though sometimes that's not what it's called. Now, this talk is for you that is a tough leader, is a decision maker. You have a team, you have a small organization, maybe you're a board member or you're management positions, right? If you are delivering attention, if you're delivering training, workshops, if you're delivering classes, but also as a leader, if you're delivering collective collaboration or if you're delivering collective decision making, right? Now, when I talk about facilitation as competitive advantage, I'm talking about facilitation as competitive advantage for you internally, for you and your team members, and also for the participants that, go look for your experiences or your workshops. Now, be with me. Let's start from the beginning. What facilitation is, right? So, facilitation, as I like to say, is the art or the ability to take a group and guide it through a collective shared experience or to a collective shared place, a common place. Now, when I say that, what is this commonplace could look like? It can be a new product, a new service, a new process, or maybe it's just the improvement of a product, service, or process. You might get to a planning, you might get to a strategy, you might get to a manifesto, you might get to, develop a new strategy for your organization or for your team. Now, we're talking about the people you're working with, but also the people you're working for. Now, if today on your team, on your professional journey, you're designing journeys for other people, facilitation is also for you. Second, important. Now, we learn what facilitation is. Now, what facilitation is not. So, facilitation is not a skill, a isolated skill that someone is able to have, and that someone, not everyone has the talent for it. Everyone can learn. I like to say that facilitation is something that everyone that works with people or leads people or guides people through something, it's an ability that they should have. It's an ability, it's a timeless skill. It's multicultural, it's multi-generational and multi-sectorial skill, which is a very important word here. So facilitation is for everyone. You have a team, you have a group, you have participants on your activities. You're guiding them through a process, right? So we learn what facilitation is. We learn what facilitation is not. Now let's learn what experience design is. And I think it's important to distinguish the two of it. Now, when we talk about experience design, we're talking about intentionally planning and designing spaces and sessions and tools and methods so that the participants are able to collaborate. Now, that's from my perspective, right? That's my approach. If you read more about how I work, radical collaboration is one important commitment I have with my clients. But it is also, and this talk is a little bit for me to try to tell you about how being collaborative can be good for you and mostly can be good for your people, which means your team members, the people that you're working with, the people that you're working for, but also it can be very good for your profitability, you know? So, when we talk about what culture is, remember what Peter Drucker said about how culture it's a strategy for breakfast every single day. You know, culture is the collective behaviors, you know, the beliefs, the attitudes of how people work together. Now, nowadays, many organizations look at culture as that beautiful mission, vision, values. And, you know, maybe it says, oh, we are a collaborative organization. What does that exactly mean for the people who are arriving to work with you or to work for you? Being collaborative, you know? Do your team members understand what that is, you know? So, I have four important reasons of why bringing, you know, an approach to collaboration